Odix is holding us down. Seth's gonna. I hate the words like co-host and like weird titles. We're just gonna be hanging out and bullshitting every week because I listen to a lot of podcasts and thought I could do that too. Which is like the worst insult to people who do podcasts or just do anything. You know what I mean? It's like when
they're gonna hear, they're gonna be like, "Fuck this guy."
Fuck this guy. Well, no, I know. Like as a rapper, when like you're at a like rap show and you're like on stage, one of the, like when people want to like that you've never heard of or met, and they come up to you and like, oh, let me get on stage, and it's just kind of like, man, we're at my show. Like no offense, like no, you might be decent or whatever, but it's like.
Quit taking my time.
We're at my show. So, or like, I always wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, do I like stand-up comedy, or do I want to be a stand-up comedian? Because it's,
or do I like just being an asshole?
Right? Yeah, or am I just, you like, some forms of, I don't even know, we're just going right into it. That's funny. I feel like when you... Some talent you watch some people do and you're like, oh, I can't do that. Like singing, like some people are really good at singing. You can tell they've trained singing, but like just you can hear some people who are decent at singing, and like when you know you're not a good singer, it's like, oh, I can't do that. And like no matter like you could just tell them no matter the amount of training I do, I'll never be I could probably get as good as I possibly could get, but that's not good. You know what I mean? The best I could be at singing isn't the best. So but stuff like stand-up comedy and like rapping and like podcasting where it seems very casual. I don't know. I think a lot of people look at it and go, I could do that too. That's why there's a million people on YouTube doing this. And so I just putting my hat in the fucking circle. And me and Seth's been hanging out more the last few weeks. And he's one of my oldest friends on the whole fucking planet. And he said, I'll do it too. And that sounded like just the good enough excuse to actually go do it. So here we are. How was your week, Seth?
My week was not half bad.
No?
No.
What'd you get into?
I live a boring existence, so
Well, you're a father, right? You guys are dads. I'm the middle-aged man with no purpose.
Yeah, but like being a parent, you get on a routine.
And does it feels kind of mundane?
It's not necessarily mundane, but like every day kind of starts out the same, it ends the same. Like you wake up, you go to work, you come home, you take care of your kids, you make dinner or whatever.
Right.
Do a few things that
You pray for no excitement.
Yeah. You pray.
You don't want it because usually that means something bad happened or something like
if your routine gets messed up.
Or money's being spent that you didn't expect to spend. I can imagine that. Well, and that's kind of what...
something's wrong. Like, something in the stars are like, I'm going to shank you right now.
Right.
Like, oh!
As a single person, I see the benefit of that. I feel like I want to be in a more of a routine just because it seems like that's how you kind of move towards the next step. Because when it's too chaotic... Because, yeah, anything can happen with me, but... that usually does mean bad things. You know what I mean? Like, if I could go out on a Tuesday night and go, I don't know, to a strip club or something stupid, crazy like that, or just party all the time and not have anyone really mad at me. I mean, I'd probably end up getting kicked out of my house or whatever eventually, but that's what I'm saying is trying to find. A routine, I've noticed that my friends who are parents, like, a lot of times they'll be like, you're lucky you don't have any kids. And I kind of look at them and like, yeah, but like you having a kid made you actually end up being a better person and an adult. Like all my friends with kids are very much more adult than me. Like I'm the least adult 35-year-old in my life. You know what I mean? And so like, So yeah, I tease people about that, and sometimes I remember like, man, I wish I had a kid, because then maybe I would have stayed at one job and saved up money and actually had a reason to not waste all my money rapping and smoking pot. The
thing is though, is like when you're like single like that and like something exciting happens, it's always like a good story. Like, even if it's bad, it's like, oh man, that was so much fun back in the day. Like when you're a parent, it's like like when something exciting happens, it's like, oh man, the dog shit all over the house. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like that's your highlight for like a month until
Oh, the kid's sick again.
Yeah, the kid's sick again.
That's fair. Like I mean, like I went out to these rap battles on Saturday. This last Saturday, Mike Masters is coming back, and I took some mushrooms before I went because I'm doing sober October, which seems. So I'm not drinking this month. So I guess I'm still doing other stuff, and I'm all. But yeah, I'm smoking weed and like natural shit. That's different. That's like, what do they call that? California sober. I heard someone say on something.
California sober.
Yeah, so you're not drinking, taking mushrooms and smoking weed, finding yourself. You know what I mean? So I haven't drank in 10 days or 11 days now. I kind of forgot the first was the first, and that was I drank on the first, but I had been telling myself I was going to do sober October. So when I looked at my phone and saw it was the second and I was hungover, I was like, okay, good reason to spend the rest of the month sober.
Fashionably late as always.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll go until the 1st of November or whatever, instead of cheating and partying on Halloween or whatever. But it's been good. And also been saying no porn for this month too, which isn't quite the same as no nut November, because I'm still leaving up the possibility of getting some in real life. You know what I mean? Or like, if in a few weeks I'm really, like I'm feeling some type of way in the shower.
You're just abstaining from yourself
as possible. As long as possible, and not watching pornography, because I don't know, something about like. I watched the Steve-O podcast, and he was talking about sexual addiction and like how he was a sex addict, and they were kind of laughing at it. But he's like, but the way they define it, according to him or whatever his therapist, was like anytime it's like just feeling guilty or like ashamed of the sex act. And I don't know. I just sometimes feel like I watch too much. Like I'll get into it, and that'll be like my whole weekend day off. Like my whole weekend is just sort of like cleaning and watching porn. And that's not healthy.
Cleaning and making messes again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not healthy, and it doesn't, like, that's not going to get me a new girlfriend anytime soon. And, so I don't know, just trying to, just an attempt at self-control. I guess that's, I don't know if you guys deal with that or struggle with that or want to talk about that. But
So I started a diet because I hit like 235, and I was like, I just can't do this anymore. I feel like I'm going to just pop out of my skin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just going to quit bread.
Yeah.
Everything's made from bread.
Oh, man.
Or like gluten, everything. Everything's made from gluten.
Oh, yeah, 100. I've done that before, but yeah, it's almost impossible to try to eat not bread.
The greatest thing about it is, my wife, she'll be like, where do you want to eat? And I'll be like, I can't eat anywhere.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're going to have to pick. And I'm going to find something there.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
yes. That's so funny.
I can't eat, but I want to eat.
It's like, where do you want to go? Nowhere that I can, so I guess it's up to you.
I guess it's chicken wings. Let's do it.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that chicken wings is a good dietary food. I've always thought I need to go on like a chicken wing and like pork rind diet.
Oh, yeah.
Pork rinds will definitely are a good, like, actually need to get back in that habit because I love chips.
Yeah.
So I'll go home and like house a whole bag of chips.
Oh, yeah.
Like Doritos, you know what I mean? And just literally like, and eat, that'll be my dinner, you know what I mean? Or like my...
Like, here, this whole bag of Lay's right here. It has 10 servings in it. This is my meal.
Yeah, exactly. And but I remember for a while there, because I've been getting fat again. I put on like 20 pounds in the last, like, I was down to like 185 and now I'm at like 205 again.
God, I wish I was at 185.
Yeah, no.
I lost 15 pounds. I'm down from 235 to 220. And that was after a shit, so...
Yeah.
Like, you have to weigh yourself after the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's at least 1.5 pounds, so you can feel a little bit better about yourself,
Right. Well, and they, like, I don't know. You hear it both ways, like, not to step on the scale when you're trying to lose weight. But I also think it's... To never, ever step on a scale, ever, is almost like just kind of ignoring... Like, it's just not taking care of yourself. You should at least get on the scale. Like, if you, like, find a weight that you feel like, oh, this is where I feel good about myself maintaining. And even if you're not on a diet, every couple weeks or like once a month, just check yourself. Like, oh man, I've been pigging out.
I wish I could do that.
Check your progress every
I
couple
check out
weeks.
every morning shit, and I get up and I
weigh
myself.
that's
right there.
right. Well, that's probably that's probably if it as long as it doesn't like depress you, because that's what some people argue is like you'll step on the scale and like not see enough progress and it'll you'll quit. But I don't know. I've never been like that either. I should probably just start stepping on it. It's almost like a way to kick.
A little bit of change, but nothing too crazy or anything like that. Because I'm not really working out or
Yeah.
anything at the moment, so it's not like I'm like expecting. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be like 185 in a week. Nope. No. That's probably gonna be like 6 months.
Setting yourself up for realistic expectations.
Well, and it is the long haul.
Totally true.
It's funny how people think it happens real fast, but like when I was talking about this earlier today when I was Seth, when I was like 340, when I was real fucking fat, I lost it. I went from
You broke my old couch.
Right? Yeah, I did do that. But it would go from
not this one though, my old one.
Yeah. But I went from. It took like almost like I remember being the heaviest I was at like probably 23-ish or 4-ish, and then like 25, 26 I was like down like 140 pounds. But it did take like a year and a half of just eating a lot different. And people are like, how'd you do it? And I'm like, well, I didn't really work out, so it took like a year for my body to almost kind of like correct, because I'm like, I overate. People I'd be like, I used to like hang out all day and like eat fast food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and have like a bag of chips whenever I stopped, and like a whole bunch of soda, and like 3 fucking full throttles a day, and then I'd get home at the end of the night and like make a pizza and a couple of Hot Pockets and house that bag of chips.
Next week.
Yeah.
I did all that.
Yeah, and so that's how I used to eat like every day, and so like I'm like, so I almost had like a. I don't know, I'd argue that, like, I binged. Like, I overate. It was almost, like, a disorder level of, like, eating when I think about. And I remember one of the nights I kind of told myself, I don't know, I never really can pinpoint, like, the real turning point and, like, why. But I do remember one night just eating until I threw up. And not even, like, on some, like, bulimic throwing up on purpose because I want to stay skinny. But, like, I just couldn't, for the life of me, stop eating bullshit until it made me sick.
Yeah.
And then I remember just thinking like after you throw up, it's like there was almost this like it's like a rush and clarity, and I was just looking at myself like, why the fuck did I do? What am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, why?
You're lucky you kind of came to that realization as young as you did. Too.
Yeah.
For me, I hit like 235, and I'm like, damn, I'm 41.
Yeah.
I'm never going to lose this.
Yeah. Right, that's funny.
I better jog 5 miles a day.
Right. Yeah, no, that's kind of where I'm at too.
On the treadmill, man.
Right. I want to start working out and like kind of, I don't know, tone it all up.
Toning it up a little bit.
Just to make it a less flabby dad bod, and like, some arms that don't look like the Bugs Bunny like falling down. You know what I mean? Not like I want to be buff, but I just don't feel strong. This is me admitting. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, like I don't feel strong. Like it's not like I'm like weak or anything by any like stretch, but I don't feel like I'm a very physically strong person. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, it'd be cool to feel just better and a little more athletic. Not even, and like athletics is a strong word, but just if I need to run, just more fit. If I need to run, then it won't wear me out. If I get laid, I'm not like catching.
If zombie apocalypse happens, you're not gonna get your brains eaten. Right?
Yeah, exactly. just all that shit. Like, I was just thinking. Yeah, the older you get, it's self-preservation too. I'm hitting 40. I'm like, when I'm in my 20s. I just...
You're invincible.
You're invincible. Now I don't feel invincible. I'm starting to feel, like, out of shape. And, like, if I got robbed, would just be... you know what I mean? Like, there's, like, a lot of... Yeah, there's be a lot of situations where I would have if I was, for some reason, like, having to hold myself up, like, hanging somewhere, I would die. I can't do a pull-up. And I was watching like the Joe Rogan stuff, and like even the fat guy, fucking Bert Kreischer, can do a pull up or you know what I mean. So I'm like, God damn it, I need to be able to do it. Like if I fall off something tall, I want to be able to catch myself and pull myself up.
You at least want to be able to do one.
To be able to do one fucking pull-up to save my life. I can't do a pull-up to save my life, literally. Yeah. And
You're
so
like, listen,
that's.
I'm only gonna fall once. I need to be able to pick myself up once.
Yeah, I don't need to do.
Because you hit your mid-40s and you try to start doing pull-ups and you'll shit yourself.
Yeah. Oh. See, yeah, exactly. So you need to get into that shape. Yeah, exactly. My shit yourself, but I just weird scenarios like that. I'm thinking about like I would not be good in those scenarios, and I want to feel better about that.
Yeah.
Cause you know what, girls like that too. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm.
They tend to like it.
When you get older, you can do one pull-up. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, there are the ones out there that are like, oh, he's weak and he's like completely useless. I've got this.
I've got this. Yeah. Then they take, and that's a taking advantage thing. I don't want.
That's the very toxic.
Yeah, I don't want to be low hanging fruit for toxic weirdos.
Yeah.
I want to.
They're not gonna dump me.
I'm trying to
being a crazy person. That's
yeah.
all right.
Well. And I don't know. So just in general, I've just been thinking about that, and like I guess being sober has got me thinking about like, oh, I also want to maybe try to stay sober at least. Maybe not like if I'm out at the bar like I was the other night, it wouldn't have killed me. But also I've gotten to the point. I had gotten to the point where like once I start drinking, usually it's kind of like I don't just take a few drinks, or I'll do it and like I'll go get a bottle and do that, and then I have like a few drinks every night for a few days or a few, like, it's like almost like Bender style.
And you just start rolling down the hill.
Yeah, exactly. And and honestly, and like I was saying again, just like the shame part, like that kind of hit me, like when he was like, oh, it's just about feeling good about what you did the night before, or like what you, like your decisions you're making, and like waking up and going to work and just being like, and like when you talk to people, you don't have to, I don't know, you're not faking it. You're just genuinely kind of like in a good mood. So I've been trying to get a good night's sleep and not be a piece of shit,
like
I guess.
And stuff, I like have a beer and stuff. And after I get to the end of my first beer, and I start on my second beer, and I'm like, wait a second. What if one of my kids fall down the stairs?
Yeah.
What if,
what if I need to drive later? Like,
right, yeah. Well, that's what Bill Burr,
like,
that's why
like, you stay home, you stay sober. Like, you're not drinking tonight.
Right,
you drink tomorrow night. We'll take turns.
Right, and that's, yeah, exactly. And you find that responsibility. But yeah, I remember Bill Burr, I listened to his podcast a lot too. He's a funny comedian. But he said one of the main reasons he got sober is, he was drinking. He was a heavy drinker, Irish, angry, Massachusetts guy or whatever. But once he had his first kid, he's like, like, oh, I'm downstairs plastered while they're upstairs. What if they stop breathing?
Yeah.
And I have to, you know what I mean? And I'm over here fucking not, not in my right mind.
To the wind.
Yeah, he's like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? I can't take, there's no nights off. Like, I guess if I get a babysitter, but like, then it, but like, I can't have a babysitter every night or whatever. And so again, and then, like I was saying, a lot of times, just my addictive personality, even when I have a good night drinking one night, usually that just means that the next, I'm like, oh, well, I didn't get too drunk last night and I didn't feel like shit this morning. I can do that again. And then I get into that habit of doing it every night. And then when I do decide to have a weekend where I'm going out drinking with people, that's the night that like, I'm fucking drinking till 8 and I'm like doing, drugs I don't want to be doing. and then you can't sleep. You know what I mean, or whatever, and then you're just kind of like hating yourself for a while, or
it's
a spiral thing. And then sobering up is like really depressing. You're like depressed just because all the serotonin's gone, and I realized like I would rather wake up, like, and smoking weed never really does that for me. It helps me sleep, maybe not get all the REM sleep I need, but at least puts me to sleep. Like gets me some sort of sleep, and I wake up and don't feel like a piece of shit because I smoked like a bunch, a few bowls before, like after work or before work, or I don't smoke at work. I've always been really good. I don't really like to go get high like at lunch. I'll get a little cranky at the end of the day because I haven't smoked for like 9-10 hours, and I usually mix a little tobacco with my marijuana, which I have my green card, so I can talk about this. Plus, it's
Your green card.
Yeah, I have my medical card.
That's a whole new meaning now.
Yeah, green means go.
Green means go.
But technically, I don't smoke it the right way. I smoke it illegally because you can buy flower, but you have to vape it. So you have to get like a vape pen or like something that like vaporizes it, or you have to do edibles and shit. But
yeah, no more edibles for me.
I was thinking, those ones are super strong too. That was, if you had taken like a couple of 10s, that would have been fine. That's what
I took one.
I know, but they're like hundreds.
And I
like
felt like that guy, that audio of that guy, like, I'm gonna die. I think I'm gonna die.
Edibles are way different. When you,
I need an ambulance. That's how I felt.
Right. People when they.
He's like, oh yeah, it's just 10 milligrams. Bullshit, that thing was
those ones were like 100 a piece. I was like, you need to cut those into like 4s.
Fuck, man, 8s.
8s, yeah, like literally just a nibble of that. But you're like, yeah, I like that. I'm like, I can get some pretty and they're good, but yes, if they are strong. And I remember the first time. Edibles are just different. It's just
7 days.
Yeah.
7 days.
Edibles are different. It is like like if you take too many, it's a whole different, or too much. But that's what's fun and scary about edibles is like you're like, oh, I don't want to feel like that.
Yeah.
So you kind of baby it and be like, oh, I'll take, depending on your tolerance, I'll take 10, 20 or whatever, half of what I think will fuck me up. And then you take that and like you don't feel it right away. So then you like are like, all right, well I guess here I'll take the other half. And then it's almost like it was like a delayed thing, and then all of a sudden they combine, and you're just. That's the only time I ever feel too high.
Like little chocolate pieces. From Like my wife's niece makes them in Oregon and sends them out to us, and we're like, okay, cool, eat a piece, and you just kind of get this really light, airy feeling, and then all my pain goes away.
Well, so you just need the right ones. I just gave you. I just overdosed you on marijuana. I'm sorry.
Dude, I haven't been right since, man. Like it's been crazy. Like
right. Well, hey, it opens your doors to perception. It's like a good acid or mushroom trip.
Yeah, I feel normal now, but gosh, I swear the whole month it just kept like
marijuana is
my neck or something, and I
right. Oh shit. Well, marijuana is a hallucinogen. It's obviously not like the same level of a hallucinogen that like other hallucinogens are, and also edibles, it breaks down different in your liver. It goes to a different, like, I don't know the fucking terms, but it's a different, like, the THC breaks down into your liver into a different, like, THC with extra letters or whatever in the name, and it's more hallucinogenic when you eat edibles.
And so if you took a nap and then I started feeling it, and I was coming down from it, and I was like, cool. But it was weird though. When I first took it, it was like it seemed like it took like a whole hour and a half for it to even kick in. Like,
well, see, that's what it does. That's what it tricks you to, because
and all of a sudden it was like wave, and I'd be like, holy crap! I swear, what time is it? It's like been an hour or two. I swear I should be coming down from this. Oh fuck! It's been 5 minutes. I look at my watch, and 1 minute would pass by every time I looked at my watch.
Oh my gosh!
1 minute. Oh my god. I swear to God, I've been staring at this wall for half an hour.
I have had that happen to me too. I took more than you, but I had the same feeling. But I've experienced that feeling where it's just like, this is too much. I do not enjoy this. But also, I used to. I remember there's a
half of it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she took a whole one too, but she's tiny though. She's like 5'0" and she puked half of it out and stuff, but it's still like it hit her hard. And like the next day, I remember looking at me, and she was kind of like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Oh my god!"
That's so.
I'm trying to ignore it.
So funny. Just enjoy it. What other drug gets you high for 2 days?
Every night I cooked dinner after that, I was just like, oh.
It's gonna be so good.
Oh, it's gonna be so
This is gonna be fire. Yeah. See?
So
it's good for you.
That was a perk for sure.
Yeah.
There was a couple little perks, but It shouldn't have lasted.
Yeah, no, that's
like,
intense.
Oh yeah, I gave the rest back to you.
Yeah, I just took them back and ate them. I ate them, yeah. But those ones are strong. Now that I'm working again, I might buy some more gummies from Homie because his are always
strong
as fuck.
It's like he sets them up for like 100 milligrams each, and then he just like dumps a whole bunch of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is because I've gotten like other gummies like that kind of look like the toy gummies or whatever, or not toys, like candy gummies, like the Gushers and like the Gusher weed and the fucking Sour Patch Kids and like the Trolls and the all that. So I've ate those before that seem like they like legit like I don't know if they legit. Obviously in Utah, if they don't, none of them look like candy from our pharmacy. So the legit is like a lot. They get packaged like that. People will make it like in their house the same way they make fucking ecstasy pills at their house and fucking put them in shit. But you know what I mean. So I don't know. Obviously, I don't deal enough drugs to know how they really do it, but. You can get those bags that are like the Trolls, and it's like weed, and it's like it'll be like 25 milligrams, or it'll say like 500 milligrams, but that's like for the whole bag. And then there's like 10 pieces of candy in there, or like 10 or 15 pieces of candy, and those ones, I'll eat like 4 of them and like not even feel anything, and that's technically supposed to be like I'll take like what's supposed to be like 50 milligrams, and I'll be like, and it kind of get high. But those ones I get from Homie, and it's like, oh, this is.
That's the ones I got from like Washington. Somebody, I can't remember who brought me some. They weren't very, I think they were like 10 each or something. Like that. So and it came in a package of 5. Yeah. They were like thick pieces of chocolate. You could taste it in it and stuff. But it would be so light, you would don't even notice it.
Yeah.
It just kind of took the edge off barely.
Yeah. See, I can imagine if you're not a normal, like, flower or, like, dabber, like, that's probably dope. That's probably perfect. Because I've listened to, or I've seen people, like, who love, like, there's, like, have you seen that? It's like, I've heard it on, or, like, an advertisement for it somewhere where it's, like, CBD light or something, or, like, weed. It's like weed light, and it's basically, like, very THC, like, it's got a little THC in it.
That's more like CBD,
but it's very CBD heavy, and it's not, it doesn't have all the THC, like, because if you break down weed, it's like there's a different types of THC and CBD that, and you, like, if you look at little packaging, it's like THC 6, kind of like 2%, THC 9, 12%, or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the weed light, or whatever it's fucking called, is basically, like, doesn't have all the THCs in it, so it doesn't show up on your drug test, but it still has some THC in it, so you still get kind of a hot, but it's a more mellow, it's obviously a way...
Like a cloud, or kind of...
Yeah, it's just a way more mellow, it's not... Yeah, but it's enough to get you high, but it's not... I don't know, I guess enough... It's more of a CB. I don't know. I just heard it. I was like, that sounds weird because like the way they explained it, it sounded like it's got this THC and this THC in it, but it doesn't have this, and so it's a nice, smooth, mellow high. And I was just like, they're getting so weird and science. Yeah, like if you say so, I still buy mine in a Ziploc.
Starting to sound like cigarette brands back in the
50s. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Just like this one, it's like this one's the way to da-da-da. It makes you more of a man. It makes you...
This will make your penis grow.
Yeah.
Look, you feel like a real man?
Yeah. Listen here, son.
Buy Barry's red lights.
THC light. All the high, none of the stress.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
So funny.
Yeah.
Well,
good old cigarettes.
Yeah, they invented like marketing. If you ever, I watched a bunch of dumb shit, but like,
those are the ones that benefited from them. As soon as they smoked one, it was.
But like that.
That's how I started.
Right.
But I quit a while back. I still think about it sometimes, and I'm like, God, I want one so bad.
That
and then I
sounds so
walk by
nice.
somebody that's smoking, and I'm like, God, you fucking stink, man.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Why am I doing this?
It's been like, gosh, 5 years, maybe 4 years or something like that.
Yeah.
But I just haven't even touched any of it.
Right.
Like I can't do it.
There are certain things, though, I feel like nicotine is definitely one of them, where, like, you can quit forever and ever, and, like, most of the time the idea of doing it, like, will make you sick. But, like...
Oh, I get these cravings where like, I see the pack on the shelf, you know, and I'm like, oh, God, I want a Marlboro Smooth so bad. But I know if I smoke it right now, it's going to taste like dog shit.
Yeah, as soon as you do it, it's gross, but just your mind is just...
But I know my mind thought, like, after I was used to them for, you know, smoking them for about a year or so, and all it would taste was the spearmint.
And you're just like,
you know, menthol-y flavor they put in it. And that's all I could taste. I didn't taste the nicotine or, you know, tobacco or anything like that, you know. But, yeah, now you smell that and you're like, man, I can't even tell the difference between the Cowboy Killers anymore, you know?
No, it's all...
Yeah, they all smell the same now. Like, before I could tell, I'm like, oh, yeah, you're smoking a Camel over there, you know? Like, can I have a Camel? You know, or, oh, Marlboro? Cool. You know, like... It's
funny, like, it's funny how much smoking's become, like, different, because everyone vapes now.
Yeah.
Like, you go out, even when you go out to bars...
Sick.
Yeah.
Makes my skin turn pale.
Yeah.
Bad.
I can't do that much either. I remember you used to have that big old juicer one. You just suck on that bitch.
Dude, that thing, like, literally almost killed me. I would wake up in the mornings and I couldn't breathe. I think it gave me
popcorn
sleep apnea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, straight up sleep apnea. Like, it was caused by that. And now that I haven't been doing it, it's been going away slowly, but
it's insane. What do you think that is? Like, human beings have smoked for ever, right? More or less, like something. We've always, it's like or it's the oral fixation, right? We always just kind of want to
have some in our mouth.
Some in our mouth,
And back then, nobody wanted to live till they were like
60. Yeah, because living that old, you know, I still think about that because I was telling someone that I didn't like Thai food.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm a meat and potatoes, burger and fries kind of guy. Mm-hmm. I don't really, it's just me, like, I don't know.
And kills me.
Yeah, I just, like, when they're like, let's go get a bunch of, like, a lettuce wrap in rice, and I was like, oh. And they make it spicy, or, like, that's the only thing they ever do to make anything taste good, is just make it spicy. It's like, why don't we put some...
We'll put some sriracha sauce in here.
A couple weeks ago, I had my first Five Guys burger with lettuce wrap.
Oh,
it was the best burger I've ever had.
Oh, because you're trying to do the breadless thing.
Yeah, because I can't do bread. Like
the lettuce wraps for burgers are good. Yeah, I'll fuck with that. At all. See, that's what I need to do. Is like, because I am like that. Is to start doing stuff like that.
That bread, I seriously feel like the bread, like, kind of, it pulls you down. I feel like it's like slowly taking my soul away.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm younger now. Like, I feel, you know, stronger,
actually,
more energized. Yeah.
Well, that's. Yeah. You know what? I might try to do that too, Odix. Yeah. Cut the bread back out.
Yeah, cut the bread out.
Cut some bread, because it does make you feel better.
Yeah, it does for sure. And it was just the bread I cut. Like, and sugar, I guess I drink like Coke Zeros now instead of Coke.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. Fucking someone showed me they have big bags of Gushers next in the gummy bear section at like gas stations, and I've been eating like a bag of those a day. That's probably why I put on 50 pounds. And my teeth are falling out.
Yeah, I can't even eat sugar anymore. So, like a long time ago, I haven't been able to really eat too much sugar. I'll eat it every once in a while, but once a week, maybe once a month. That's it. Like, I just can't do sugar very much. I mean, like ketchup and stuff like that. You know, all the sugar that's in there, I'll eat that. But
Seth here's diabetic.
Yeah,
not to put us on blast, but he knows the pitfalls of sugar.
Oh man, like when I was younger, like that's all I craved. I just wanted sugar all the time. Now that I'm older, I'm like, I don't need sugar, man. Yeah. Like I got all that crap out of my system when I was younger, and I'm glad because I mean.
The only sugar addiction I have is dark chocolate. Like, I cannot get off of dark chocolate.
Really? I don't like dark chocolate.
Yeah. You don't?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think, you know, it kind of reminds me of smoking a cigar.
It's just probably that bitterness kind of.
Yeah, I'm a big time cigar guy. Like, over cigarettes, I love cigars. Even to this day, I'd probably still pop on a cigar.
We should bring some stogies. Too bad we can't do it just right down here, though.
I know, yeah. It would probably ruin some of my gear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But
we can do it outside and just hook up a.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I do have a mini setup I can set up there. I have a whole other sound card. And
really?
So yeah.
We should maybe one time hook it up somewhere where we could smoke that. And
I'll just clean out my shed out there, and it's got power in it and stuff, and we'll pull out a card table and record. And,
yeah, I'd be so down.
Yeah.
Because then I could bring over, a little bit of ganj maybe too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should think about that.
I know.
That'd be dope as fuck.
Because it's got a big old vent that comes out the back of it, so all the smoke stuff would just blow right out the back.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we should set up we should do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And when Sober October's over, we can do this, maybe take some shots or two while we're doing it, you know what I mean? Or drink a few beers, that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think how long have we been going now? Like an hour or so? Or close to it?
I don't know.
I think we've...
I'm probably getting close.
Not even a half hour. Or barely over a half hour.
Oh, barely over a half hour?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, we did bullshit for like a half hour before we started.
Yeah. Yes, we're at 36 minutes.
All right. Well, that's not bad. We're talking about time already. I don't want to go for like 2 hours anyway.
No, I mean...
And this is the first time. I think this was fun. I kind of when I was thinking about doing it, I was thinking about doing like I don't know, like favorite, like a song suggestion, like to go listen to or something, or like song of the week, some stuff like that. I don't know if, just because I'm a rapper, so I always want to do stuff rap adjacent. But I haven't really, I've been listening to a bunch of stuff, but none of it's really been like hitting my ear like a million pounds lately or whatever. Who was I Self Divine. He used to be on, used to be on Rhyme Sayers. Now he just kind of puts out stuff independently by himself. And he put out an album like last year and this year, and I think some others before that, but I just hadn't really listened to him forever, and like just thought about him because I don't know, he's just one of my favorite guys on Rhyme Sayers, but he's just I just hadn't thought about it. So I looked him up, and he's still been doing music, and it's fucking fire. It's cool. It's very good stuff. So if I was gonna make an album or music suggestion for the week, which I kind of want to do every week, it would be, what's the name of that album? It's I Self Divine. This is the other one. The one that came out this year, it's called That Which Is Hidden. That one's really good, but I actually enjoyed the one he put out in 2021 better, and it's called Rituals of Resilience. So that's my...
That's your pick?
That's my album pick of the week, is Rituals of Resilience by I Self Divine. Anybody else got something you think people should go listen to Odix is a DJ, tastemaker.
Yeah. No, nothing really.
Not to put you on the spot, but that was something. That's about the only little segment. I was gonna call it something old, something new, something blue, which is like getting like kind of the old married thing. Yeah. And like music is something I love, and I love it so much. Why don't you marry it? So I kind of.
I'll be a little bit more prepared next.
Yeah, so I kind of so I wanted to do something like a classic album, maybe that's like at least 10 years old that that you've been thinking about or really enjoy. Maybe we'll go like through our top 10
favorite. 10 years.
Something that's at least 10 years or older.
90s,
Yeah, well I know, but that's how I usually think too. But I was trying to think like, man, like let's go old, and then I'm like, well, how old? So I was thinking like new is like something in the last 2 years, something old would have to be at least 10 years. And then blue would be something maybe like out of the blue, or blue in like comedy is blue when it's like vulgar. So maybe something a little more out of pocket. Like, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But I was unprepared. That was just my only little half-ass segment I was thinking about. So something new would be those I Self Divine albums. Some old would be, I think the last, burped. I think the last old thing I was listening to was, I was bumping, trying to go through my like listens again through my. Oh, it was Naughty by Nature, but it was the fourth one. It had like.
Had a fourth one?
They got a.
I stopped listening to them after their second album.
Well, you shouldn't have, because they dropped anthemics all throughout the '90s and into the 2000s. But Poverty's Paradise. It has that's the one I was bumping. It's 95, and it is their fourth one. And it had what's the one? We all know it. There's their what is that fucking? What was the? I would know it if I heard it. Oh yeah, Feel Me Flow. Oh, Feel Me Flow. Hey, oh, let me flow now. Yeah. Yeah. That one's on their fourth one.
That's on their fourth one?
Yeah. First one was
right. It was their fourth album.
Yeah, so I think I don't think their first album had a bunch of hits. I think, but their second one I think had OPP, and their third one had like hip hop. Here we go. You know, the hip hop hooray, ho! That was like on their third, and OPP was like on their second, I think, which was like their first big hit.
Yeah. I thought it was.
Was that what OPP?
Yeah, that was like their first big commercial hit.
Yeah, that's
the one that got me was that Ghetto Bastard song or whatever.
Oh, I don't know. I've actually been wanting to listen to more of them because I guess I got into it at a point where
I can't remember the song.
Look it up because I got into hip hop at a point where Naughty by Nature sort of felt like that kind of Queen Latifah, LL Cool J, like early '90s. It was almost too not gangster enough. Even though if you go back and listen to it, it's all got parental advisory and swearing and all the stuff you'd want from like gangster rap music. But Tretch was fucking nice. He could rap. Like Yoke the Joker. I know that's like Eminem's favorite song, so it's lame for my blonde white ass to say I like that song too. But Yoke the Joker goes. And then but like Hip Hop Hooray, and you just think about even what was that song? Hit the jam with the bam bam.
Yeah,
that was a big hit in 02.
Yeah, Everything's Gonna Be Alright. Yeah, that was the one that
Yeah, and that's on their that's the one that's on their second album, right? Everything's gonna be Yeah. So I don't know. I was actually kind of going through a bunch of their stuff, but I just remember I clicked on their fourth one because I just thought it would have a slightly. It was from '95, so I was kind of going for the late night, like more of that late '90s sound than the early '90s sound, and it actually. I loved it. I was like, I even went and posted on Facebook later that Naughty by Nature is dope and slept on, and like I enjoy that. That might be like kind of my favorite. Like
they got an album in 2020.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. If you go back, all your favorite music, like those classic dudes, like
that album with Everything's Gonna Be Alright. That's their first album.
Oh, okay. Is it their first one? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then that 1990 Naughty 3 or whatever.
Yeah, Naughty 3. Isn't that the one
Naughty
with...
3, that's their second. Yeah, with OPP.
Yep.
Yeah, Poverty's Paradise. Yep.
Yeah. It's all great. If you go back and listen to...
I remember that. Yeah, the 1999 or whatever. 999.
Yeah. And that's the one that had... Isn't that the one with, like... The one I remember from, like, high school that, like... It was, like... They had that... It's, like... Hear the jam with the... where's that beat go? I'm not even giving any justice. Someone's sitting at home listening to this going, who loves 90s music? It's blah, blah, blah. But yeah,
I totally forgot about this. I'm like sitting here looking at the playlist and I'm like, oh man, what the heck?
They had great music and it's fun and he could rap his ass off and it was tough enough so it didn't feel like you were listening to like Will Smith or whatever, but it still had that... That's
a huge jump from 2011 to 2020.
Yeah. I wonder if that new one's any good.
Forgotten Quarantine Archives. That's what the album is called.
Oh, so maybe it's like unreleased stuff.
It's like a 7-track.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. That's the thing also, too, is most of your favorite musicians, especially rappers, they all kind of keep putting out music. It's just, hip-hop is hip-hop, so it's kind of trendy. The word hip's literally in the name of the genre. So if you're not like the hip new thing right now, you don't
kind of get fallen off to the wayside.
Yeah, people forget about you, but you're real fans. And you never, I don't care. It's not like sports where, you hit a certain age and you just can't do... I guess, if you're a musician and you get arthritis, you can't play like you used to or whatever. But, Keith... that's why the fucking Stones go out and play in their 70s, because, even if it's, you know, they're not playing it as tight as they did in '76, but they are probably playing it better. I bet there was a point where they sobered up in like the mid '90s where they were probably actually better live than they were in the '60s and '70s because they were all fucked off in the '60s and '70s.
Right, so they still act like.
Yeah, still act like that. It's still fun to watch them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you know, the problem is like if people stop paying attention to you, and then if you're doing it for, I don't know, it becomes a business of money, then you don't necessarily have a reason to do it anymore. And it's probably why they didn't, you know, haven't put anything out since 2011. And then it's hard to keep groups together. It's almost impossible to keep like.
I mean, like even
they have like 3 people like want to continuously work together year after year after year, and they never want to take a break from running. You know what I mean? That.
Well, it's almost like being an adult, like, you know, like you get your own life, and then it's just like, oh yeah, we should hang out, and then like 6 months later, you're like, oh yeah, I should probably call them again.
Yeah, I probably.
And then
should
be like,
try.
oh yeah, we should hang out, and then you don't talk to them for another 6 months. And
Young
then,
minds.
Yeah, young minds. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Well, Saint City. That's all our good friends. Like all my close friends, like Grizz and Icy Blue, who I make music with. I'd love to make more music with them, but mostly it's just like we don't have time to. We don't sit in the same room together for hours on end like we used to, with nothing better to do but to write raps. And also it's just, and because I still do like making music, but I do it on my own time. Like I'll write, and I have like the Tuesday nights set aside. Yeah. And so I kind of tell everyone else, like I'll do this when I record music. It's either you, like if I like sending music to do with like songs. I like sending music to artists to be on that song if they kind of have a place too. If I know that they are kind of like they're easily accessible in the same way, like, oh yeah, I'll do your song, I'll send it over, I'll record it on Tuesday. If someone else has that same kind of setup, then it's easy to be like, here, I'll send it over, and they can send it back, and then that's just easy as cheese. Right. But like I know the people who like, you know, they're like, I'm down to do it, and like I just don't have anywhere to record. And my answer is always like, well, you can come record here, but I go every single Tuesday at 7:00. And most people, it's like, oh, I've just said I've made that my schedule forever. So for me, it's easy. But a lot of people being somewhere on a weekday at 7 p.m. when you're in your, like, again, when you're a fucking parent, it's like, oh well, I can't be there. It's like then it's like pulling teeth. It's like something comes up and it takes like 2-3 months to get them to come and do that one thing, and that's why I almost feel, you know, Odix, like I feel spoiled in that way. It's like I can come in here every week and like work on that, and that's why I put out 40 songs in the last 2 years. Yeah,
easily. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's officially it's 42.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, because in 2020 I put out the 14 tracks and then like 8 tracks. Anyway, it was like 20 even.
Yeah.
So it was maybe 16. Anyway, it was like 20 even. And then this last one I put out, and then this year I put out 22.
Dang.
Like together. But that's because, like I said, I've been buying beats from the one dude, from my homie, shout out Yodo Beats, and he just makes cool shit. And then I got, who was, Sacred Crate sent me a bunch of beats like a year and a half, 2 years, like the very first part of 2021, and just kind of let me do what I want with them. And so I sat on a few of those, and
yeah,
makes it easy. But and then she came in here. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, but it as far as, so like the bring it all the way around, so I'm not rambling. Groups, Naughty by Nature. Yeah, just that it's hard to like plan that. So because like I said, when someone else, that's part of their routine somewhere else, and you can kind of just ask them to do it. That's real easy. But like trying to get someone to be on schedule with your routine,
yeah,
that's a lot harder. And so I can definitely understand, like, I don't know, so that I could just see where.
I know, I even struggle too with like DJ and stuff. They're like, hey, can you come out in a week or two, you know, on a Tuesday or a Friday? I'm like, fuck, dude. All right, you know, like,
yeah,
let's go, when's my set? And they're like, oh yeah, your set's at like midnight or 1 in the morning. I'm like, shit, I gotta get work. I gotta get up for work at like 5:36 in the morning, you know?
And it's not worth it to, like, or enough time to be like, oh, I'll call out. Like when I was younger, like nowadays, yeah, that's another thing. Like when I have a show, my natural inclination is to want to like, oh, I'm gonna get that. You get that day off, and then you're like, oh shit, and like you have to work the next day, and it's like, I know you get paid for your gig, so that's cool. But I know as a rapper, I don't get paid very often for performing, if ever, and which is fine because I don't also ever bring anybody. I don't have enough fans. No one, so. It's a fair trade, I guess. If no one's coming to see me, should you pay me? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's the other question. But yeah, like there's like, well, but I do love to go perform and hang out, and like I was like, like these battles the other night. It's just like being part of like a local scene. So like I've been doing shows for forever and a day. So just seeing everyone else who's been kind of doing the same thing, it's just almost like a little family reunion every time they have something that we all end up going to, so that's fun. I know I've been doing DJing for 27 years. Right. And that's what it feels like. I go out. I mean, granted, I had a lot of friends and stuff, over the years die and stuff like that, just from bad habits. Yeah. Of course. Well, that whole rave scene is cool but tough. Yeah. I was losing 7 friends a year for a little while there, and then it just kind of thinned out. But I do still run into old and new faces. Like, people like, oh, yeah, I've heard about you. It's awesome, man. Yeah. Like, oh, dude, that's the best thing in the whole world is now that I, like, on Saturday, just people, like, younger people coming up to you and being like, dude, I heard your first CD and it made me want to rap too. And I'm like, what? And this guy's doing it. Yeah, exactly. If this guy's doing it, I can do it too. And it's like to bring it all the way back around. But it is cool. Like other people, like you're like a legend. To have someone come up and you want to be like, no, I'm not. But it is. But thank you for that. I'm glad that you think I'm a legend. I kind of noticed. I've had a lot of guys. A lot of people like, oh yeah, you're a legend, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like starting to realize that it's not really a good thing. No, that just means you're old. Means you're fucking retired. I mean, yeah, it means you're old and they like remember what you used to do, even though like someone comes, you're a fucking legend. And I'm like, oh yeah, I put out new music this year. Oh, really? You're like, you're a dick. It's like, I just remember that you used to battle on U92. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I never got paid for that. I got paid $12 today for my album streams. I looked at my thing and like I'm getting like royalties and licensing from some of my stuff on YouTube, like the new Middle Aged and Crazy. But like at a faster rate, Middle Aged and Crazy, I made like $5 in like 2 months, and the other 2 albums I made like one was like 29 cents, the other one was like $1, and like Young Minds has made like $1.20, and because it's different things. Like that's not streaming. It's like because it was like plays like here and sales here, and then it broke down like. It was like royalties and licensing, and it was like $4.75 for Middle Aged and Crazy, and I was like, weird, and like, cause I only get money like every $10, like it accumulates up to $10. That's actually not too bad. That means quite a few people listen to your stuff. Yeah, because I dropped that in September. One thing, it's like, oh yeah, you're getting like cents. Like no, you're getting fractions. It's literally like 0.0000819 of a penny. Yeah, of a penny, yeah. Like it's 5. It's like 4 zeros and then a 1 and then an 8. Damn, yeah, it's like gotta catch up on that shit. Yeah, it's a couple of zeros out. Yeah, it's a fucking a couple zeros after the point. Like it's what I mean. Like it's. It looks like let's do it like 1,000 times to make $1. Yeah, it really is. It's I broke it down. So I watched this video on Instagram. Some guy complained, but it's like you have to literally to get $1. It's like 5. It's like 492 listens from Spotify and like 300 and like Tidal does the best, but it's still like 75 listens for $1. Yeah. And Spotify and YouTube and Pandora, it's more like 300, 400, 500. Listens for like $1. So if you're making $10 on on an album or something like that, you're not doing bad. No, you're not. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I made it. $10. Woo! You can't even buy a package of bacon. No, but yeah, I did. I got a little thing in the mail said like $11.50 was coming to you in the next day or two, and I checked, and it went up from like it was at like $3 like in. Like August, and now it's at like 12 something. So yeah, I made like $9-10 in the last like month and a half or two since August, September. You know what I mean? in the last 2 months. So that's not.
Hey, you never know. Something might catch you.
You never know.
That's all it takes. It just takes like something to just.
What's funny is the song I got paid for has a Hey Arnold sample in it. So hopefully that's not the one that blows
Nickelodeon's coming after you.
Yeah, Viacom's. Yeah, it's like, oh, you just made $1 million. Bing, hey, this is Viacom.
Where's our money, bitch?
Yeah. We're gonna make sure no one hears from you ever again. Is this SpongeBob? It's a terrible SpongeBob.
We'll give you some green goo.
Yeah, I'll just. Yeah, it's Nickelodeon, all of a sudden just getting slimed.
Holy shit.
So funny.
Yeah.
But. Fair use, bitch. It's not even 30 seconds long.
Oh, God.
They're like, shut up, football head.
Shut up, football head. That's so funny.
Awesome.
Oh, man. You know, they say, blah, blah, blah. How? That's been like 45 now, right?
56.
Perfect. Pull up front. I think we're going to wrap this bitch up. An hour worth of podcasting done. The first official Stuesday in the can. I think that was a pretty quick fun little bullshitting session. Kind of jumped around a lot of topics. But
My fastest hour ever.
Yeah, that was fun.
I know.
Some old song. I really want to do that. Something new.
Something old, something blue.
Yeah, because if you love hip hop so much, why don't you marry it? So here we go. The new I Self Divine. Technically it's a year old, but that's what we're gonna do. If it's new, it's less than 2 years old. Just because we gotta do this every week.
Something old's like 10 years.
Something old's 10 years or older, and something blue is either something random or like, I don't know, offensive or funny or
something out of the blue.
Out of the blue, yeah.
Something you wouldn't normally expect.
That you wouldn't normally expect me to say. So here it is. New I Self Divine, but technically my favorite's the one from 2021, the Rituals of Resilience. Something old, my favorite Fresh Prince CD. I don't even think it's in print anymore, but you can stream it. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, first album I ever, Code Red. It's the first like hip hop album I ever owned, so perfect for something old and first thing.
That was Paperboy.
Paperboy, by
Diddy, the song Diddy.
Oh.
Paperboy, the artist Paperboy. You don't remember that?
Nuh-uh. Yeah, we'll have to play it for me. No, that's another thing we're gonna have to do. Like we should when we.
I'll bring down like a music speaker or something like that.
Yeah, and we'll hook
up a.
Can we hook up the? Does this work? Still?
Yeah, that works still. Yeah.
But yeah,
I got a speaker I can bring too.
Yeah, get a little Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah,
and we'll
I got one.
Yeah, that couch actually has a built-in Bluetooth speaker.
Oh no, I was noticing that. Like that's dope.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, at least play a little half a second of it.
Yeah.
And we can put them in there until.
I can't believe you haven't heard of. I bet you if
Paperboy.
You would know exactly who it is.
Diddy, I know. Yeah. Here, we'll play it. But
I'll play it real quick.
And then something out of the blue to be that you wouldn't expect that I enjoyed. This is kind of funny. Queen Herbie, her new song "Fashion Show." I like Queen Herbie. She's this girl rapper, very kind of ratchet girl sort of stuff. But two of my ex-girlfriends now have really been into her. So I've had to listen to her, but she's actually dope. And yeah, Fashion Show. I just played that today, and that was a fucking bop. So those are my three. That's not even a whole album. That's just a new single. But I'm cheating for that one. Out of the Blue. Fashion Show by Queen Herbie. New Rituals of Resilience. Old Code Red by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And I challenge you two to have the same thing next week. It doesn't have to be hip hop either. It can just be
whatever.
Whatever you like.
Cool.
Something.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So now we all have to go listen to some new shit too, whether we like it or not.
I listen. I listen to music all day at work. So.
Yeah.
That's
perfect.
The only thing that keeps me from slitting my wrist. Oh God, another customer. Oh shit.
And as soon as we push pause on this, Odix is gonna show me Diddy by Paperboy.
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play it. Here we go. Freaking internet.
Anyway.
It's still thinking about it.
And that's the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
here you go.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. I've heard that song. That's a great song.
Yeah. Paperboy.
West Coast people are mad at me right now for not knowing that song.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That is a great song.
Yeah. Gosh, when was that? That's
probably like
93.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That like 92 to like 94. Especially like all the stuff that's like a little less famous than everything you like. You know, obviously like. You know, that's the same time that, like, Nas and Biggie and, like, Tupac and, like, Snoop and Dre were at, like, the height of their popularity in, like, 93, 94, 95, 96.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, stuff that was kind of, like, I don't know, like, the B-sides or the, like, slight, you know, some of them were still hits, but there's people that didn't necessarily have, like, stand the test of time. A lot of that shit from that era that's, like, very much that era just is fucking still so much fun to listen to. Yeah. It's like Naughty by Nature, like we were talking about. Even though they had hits later, when you think about them, you're just like, oh, that just kind of defines like early, but not like late 80s, early 90s, but like early, almost mid, like 93, 94. Mm-hmm. Like when you think 95, 96, then you start thinking about Biggie and Pac, because that's kind of like when they died and like the sound sort of got a little bit more professional sounding. Like if you think about the Chronic album, and then you think about like I don't know Tupac's like you know like Me Against the World in like 90 or not Me Against the World, but All Eyes on Me in like 96. Those beats just all of a sudden didn't sound like they were being made. Like all of a sudden it sounded like cleaner. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like when you get into the late 90s, even though it still sounds like 90s, just you can tell they were spending more money on like, and they weren't recording in basements and just cleaning it up anymore. Yeah. They were actually like recording in big studios and using like nicer mics and nicer instruments, and if they were like just better computer programming and just all that kind of stuff, the beats sound
not as raw.
Yeah, not as raw, but that era kind of right before they got there, like Mama Said Knock You Out, Queen Latifah, cool Wu-Tang Clan, the Chronic, you know, the like. You know, or the first Biggie album, that sound, that's like my favorite era and sound, and just, if you put that on, I'm a happy camper. It doesn't really like that. Something from that kind of generation and vibe, I'm like, I can fuck with that all day.
Yep, absolutely.
But, alright, let's hit pause. Yeah, let's wrap it up.